let's go ahead and move on here. So that is it for the news and fan submissions, suggestions, all that fun stuff. Now it's time for Crystal Mountain Ponycon. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play the intro video here for Crystal Mountain to give everybody an idea of what in the world this is all about. Though it's already over, but you might as well at least know what in the world you're.
We need to come up with a great idea for this year's promo. I say we have a huge catwalk, and we can present all of our guests like M.A. Larson, Silver Quill, Dr. Wolf, and Crikey Dave, and more. And then there's me.
No.
Aww.
Look, we need to focus on what's important. We need to mention that it's at the Radisson in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that it'll be on June 17th and 18th, and
And then we get a giant hype train.
no.
Why do you suck so much?
No. Why do you suck so much? Why is it always gotta be like this?
Crest, we've talked about this.
No. I've had it with that line. He always says it. He goes on and on and on. And every time he says, why do you suck so much? Why do you suck so much?
So yeah, there's that, and this was a convention that happened here in Salt Lake about a week ago. Well, not a week, a couple of days ago. Oh dear world, I'm literally losing my mind here while I'm talking. How far can I go?
Nothing, only one.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, this is a local Salt Lake convention for Bronies. Of course, it is a smaller one. It's not as big as BronyCon by any measure or any of the bigger ones, but it still has its charm, and it did have quite a few people there. And of course, we had some fun guests, including M.A. Larson. Yeah, but yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you all about my experiences and also some of the fun swag that I picked up while I was over there. So yeah, starting off, the first thing about it was that Friday morning after I finally got to sleep and I was ready to get up and greet the day. Of course, Blinked was going along with me. Sorry, I had it turned up as high as I could, Mike. Sorry about that. That's also why I probably made it as quiet as possible so that you guys could enjoy the audio as much as you could. Where was I? Right, Blargaldar. So, yes. Blargaldar. Anyway, yes. So yeah, Friday morning, me and Blank did our customary post before we go to con thing. We get a giant breakfast burrito from a nearby Mexican place. And yeah, it's I don't know if it's a thing that's just in Utah or at least in the Midwest, but there's a lot of places that have giant breakfast burritos that are oh so good. And they will fill you up all day, or at least most of the day. They're good stuff. So it's a great way to get started on a con, especially when you don't know what in the world's going to happen, when you're going to be able to go for lunch or dinner, if you ever will. So yeah, we had our breakfast. Of course, the one thing that surprised me is right in the morning, when I looked at the table where we had some of our snacks and paraphernalia to put in our hotel room, just on the off chance something needed to be done or happen, things like that. I noticed that somebody opened the City Weekly, which is again the weekly magazine that they have here in Utah, and lo and behold, I saw my OC was there. Now apparently Blanked actually was notified of this. He didn't find this. He was notified of this. I think it might have been Tokoi actually that told him about this. And wait, my audio levels are fucked up, or is he talking about something else being fucked up? Now I don't know what's up. I don't know what's screwed up now. Anyway, moving on.
That's not again.
No, he's just making a general comment that your audio generally sucks in most shows.
I have a lot. There's a lot of issues with the audio, and it would probably take. You know what? I think this week I might just start working on audio levels altogether and try to get this fixed. Oh, the video. Yeah, nothing I could do about that. That was as high as I could possibly make it without blowing out speakers. Anyway. So, moving along. Yes, I awoken to find that my OC was actually featured in Salt Lake City Weekly. Needless to say, this was probably the best way to start going to this con. I didn't know if I was going to be recognized left and right or not at all. I wasn't, by the way. Nobody really recognized that my OC was the one that was in the article. Go figure. Anyway, No, no womp womp. I'm happy. I'm happy that I had that. I don't care about that much, too. But anyway. So, yeah. OC, I found out I was in the paper. That was one of the most exciting ways to start this. Now, one of the things I wanted to do with it this time is I wanted to live tweet everything that I was doing at the con while I was there. So the entire time, not every single time, but every time I had a chance to remember, I would tweet out a little bit of what I just did, what was going on, what the panels were that I was at, and sometimes I would try to take a picture here and there regarding some of the stuff. Of course, let's see here. Thinking about it, I probably should have had this up right off the bat here, since I was going to be talking about this.
Yeah,
Let's see.
on you. Shame.
So yeah, right now actually, on Twitter you can actually see all of the posts that we made regarding this. Let me bring it all down here to the bottom. This is when I found out that I did have my OC in there. Admittedly, I did chop off a little bit of my last name there, just because I don't want to feed the trolls a little too much. Granted, now I just showed all of you on the stream there the entire article, including my full name, so what the hell was I thinking?
Rip. Rip.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we finished getting things packed up. This time around, I did not take Giant Twilight. Instead, I took the Twilight that I actually picked up at Ponycon last year, and who actually fits really, really well on my shoulder. So that was fun. I actually had Twilight with me. I took a hat, and you can see the suitcase of fun that we had there. And we went on our way into the con. Now, the one thing I was worried about right off the bat, I was worried that we were going a little bit late. Turns out, no, the pre-reg actually started off at about 10-ish. Of course, that was a problem because the pre-reg line was pretty long when we finally got there, and they haven't started moving it yet. So, a lot of people pre-regged. And we had to wait.
Pre-reg lines are always longer.
Actually, no. I've had a lot of cases, especially in the anime conventions, where people don't pre-reg as much.
That's definitely not the case at Anime Week in Atlanta. Fuck that. You pre-reg, you better be picking your badge up on a Thursday night, otherwise, fuck you.
The upside of pre-reg is you don't have to wait for people to pay. You just walk up and say, I am so-and-so.
Yeah, true. That's always the fun part. But yeah, so we get in there, we see a giant line. And, well, we thought it was a giant line. I admit, I got confused because there was a giant mirror in the back of the hallway, and it made it look like there was double the people because it was too far out for me to tell it was actually a mirror. They actually placed it really damn well. It was a really good optical illusion. So, we got there. The line was huge. And the worst part is we could not get into our rooms early because apparently that entire weekend the hotel was ridiculously busy. The day before they had all their rooms already checked out. They still had to clean them all. They could not get anybody in early in any way. We had to wait until 3 o'clock to finally get into our rooms. The worst fart. What? I said part. Ah, well, whatever. I say what I want to say. So, yeah, we got in line, and we were waiting. The line actually moved really quickly when it finally started going. But that's when we found our first interesting thing. Apparently, Princess Deadpool.
There's always a Deadpool. Does not matter what con it is, there was always some form of Deadpool.
There was always a Deadpool. Always a Deadpool.
I think at the last Anime Week in Atlanta there was a Sundara pool.
A Sundara pool?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't even want to know how that would work.
I think it was just he just had a sign up that said something like it's not like I wanted to have a chimichanga with you or anything.
Ah! Oh, nice. Okay, let's get something silly in here. Next little image for our Celestia Day. So yeah, we finally get through the line. And I get my pre-reg swag as well as a few bit pieces from the con store that I pre-bought, mostly because I knew that it was not going to last long. this case, the con actually had some collector coins, which were pretty cool, pins, and their own separate expansion to the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipping folder. So that was pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, and also the badges were really interesting. During when they were doing pre-regs, they had different levels of pre-reg like most cons do. And they actually had them set into different stones. Amethyst, Pearl, Lupus Lazuli, whatever in the world they had a bunch of different stones on each one. When you actually picked up your badge, they had the stone glued to the badge, so that you could identify what level of pre-reg you were, which was pretty awesome. I wasn't the level 1 pre-reg. I was actually like a 2nd or a 3rd tier, so I had a what's a amethyst, I think, yeah. Had an amethyst, but I got to see some people with the ruby quartz. Blanked, I think, had just like a little clear diamond one or glass or something. But yeah, it was still pretty cool that they had the little stone there attached to the badges. I thought that was a pretty nice touch. So during the time there, we weren't there wasn't any real big panels going on. We went to the opening ceremonies, which was pretty awesome. Got to see their opening video, which basically was the standard fare for cons, you know. Please wash yourselves, please be respectful, deodorant's a must, don't make us hunt you down, etc., so on and so forth. But yeah, it was really good stuff there. And then yeah, we just checked out the different areas. We actually went to the merchandise halls, looked at all of the different stuff they had around there. We didn't buy anything just yet. No, I stand corrected. I did buy one thing because they only brought one of it. A solid steel Twilight Sparkle engraved mug. A goblet mug. Well, not a goblet, but like a mug that you would see for like some sort of crazy beer drinking.
Oh, Stein.
A Stein, thank you. Yeah, a solid steel Stein. I will be showing pictures of all this swag later, so don't worry, you will be seeing everything I got. I'm just going through this here because this actually makes for a really good timeline as well. So yeah, eventually we also checked out the arcade. That was pretty fun, and got to meet up with a few friends over there, say hi to some people I hadn't seen in a few months because I've basically been completely out. I've been completely removed from everything while I was dealing with other situations. No, you didn't see a condom there. I'm saving my condoms for Bronycon when I have the hotel room to myself. And I'm actually feeling hopeful. We'll see how long those hope lasts. I'm guessing by Friday afternoon, I'm probably going to give up all hope there, though. But we'll see.
Yeah, if you start inviting me over Friday afternoon, I'm going to have concerns.
No, sorry. I don't swing that way. I don't even find you all that attractive.
Thanks.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sure that actually you're pretty awesome, but no. You're not my thing there. No.
Someone mentioned aloe vera earlier. I could use it for that burn.
That was me, actually. I mispronounced aloe.
I know. You dense.
I don't know.
Yes,
So moving right along
again.
here. Now while I was pre-regging, I found out that they were having a tournament for the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipping folder. So I thought, why not? This is going to turn out to be a great idea and one of the worst mistakes I've made. I will expand later. So yes, since we finally got into the room, had a chance to relax, I went to participate in the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipping folder tournament. Now, as for the tournament, I did not outright win the first one, but they only were taking the top 3 winners, or the top 3 highest scores at the end of the time, and I made it to the top 3 scores. So I won the first round. Second round, Second round, it went around a few times. Some people got points. I managed to pull off an incredible combo, and I actually got 2 problems at once, and completed first on my table for the second round, which cemented me into the finals for the next day. So I got into the finals for Twilight Sparkle's Secret Shipwreck folder, and I was really happy. I should have known. Moving on. So then, yeah, apparently there was one problem, though, that happened during the Twilight Sparkle tournament. One of the decks we had, it was actually in a pretty cool box, but it only had shipping cards, and it had goal cards. It did not have any ponies at all. And the shipping and the event cards were all had mixed in all sorts of cards from different expansions that were released. So it was hilarious. They thought they had a whole nother deck, and they ended up having no ponies in it. So it was kind of funny. So yeah, that was a little bit of chuckle there. They ended up going from 4 tables to 3 tables to run the tournament, with about 5 or 6 people in each one. But yeah, I've managed to place to the finals in the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipwreck folder. I was feeling pretty good. So I went to the Brony drinking panel. Actually, no, I should stand corrected on that. I didn't go there just yet because I'm not that stupid. It was actually about a little late. It was about 6 o'clock at that point. And I wanted to go to the drinking panel, but I hadn't eaten anything since breakfast. And I know how to be responsible with my alcohol. So we actually went to a place called Crown Burgers. They're both the same thing, basically, it's just different names. But a place called Crown Burgers, and actually had a hamburger. It's actually a pretty nice hamburger. We apparently got there just after rush because it was still a bit of a mess on some of the tables. But we had some good food. We were able to chat up a little bit. Blanked was actually starting to work on some art. He was feeling a little bit inspired while he was over there, so that was pretty exciting to see him finally getting back into the arting spirit. And then when we got back, I went to the drinking panel, which was a fun little panel that they had where they would show random MLP episodes as well as YouTube clips and things like that, and you could order drinks from a standby bar, cash bar. So the first drink I had was a Nightmare Moon, which you can see pictured right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They actually had a few pony-themed drinks, which I ended up drinking one of every single one of them during the weekend. And the Nightmare Moon was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite, but it was pretty good.
Wow.
How did it taste? Well, it definitely had a dark, rich taste to it. I can't exactly put a point on the flavor, but it had a bit of a harshness to it, and it was definitely enjoyable. I could easily drink it again.
Well, what was supposed to be in it?
Ah, crap! I can't even remember anymore. I should have taken a picture of the stupid mix list. I swear. I'm not kidding. I really should have. The one thing, one thing I want to check real fast. Okay, I know back in the early fandom, they actually had more than a few different lists of drink mixes. Let me bring up some of the ones we have here and see if any of them actually tickle my memory here. Let's see.
I'm trying to figure out what you were tickling there.
Let's see. Merlot, Bahaluna.
He was trying to figure out if this should be on the stream or not.
I'm already halfway through this. I don't think there's any way of backing out from this one.
No, I meant he was talking about the tickling thing.
Oh.
He was talking about, I was saying he was figuring out whether this should be appropriate for the stream or not.
It's probably best I don't even think about that. Okay, no, not those drink mixes in this one. Huh, that's pretty interesting. I actually might have to look into that one. Let's see. Mlp drinking, apparently drinking card game. Go figure. Oh, here's one. Let's see, more Kahlua, dark rum, Irish cream. No. That's Wow, I have no idea what in the world apparently there's about 4 different mixes for Nightmare Moon alone that I'm seeing here. None of them seem to fit the bill. So, yeah, unfortunately, I have no idea what in the world I drank. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea. The flavor was good, though. It was a good flavor. I actually enjoyed all of the mixed drinks, so that in itself is a high kudos. And it wasn't incredibly sugary either, which was one of the weird issues I had last year when I had a Twilight Sparkle from the actual bar, which also had a list of different mixed drinks. Anyway, so yeah, the Nightmare Moon was the first one I had while we watched some MLP winter wrap up, actually, oddly enough, and a few MLP joke videos, including the pony of wisdom flying in the plane. Yeah, that was a fun one there. No, the barman was, for one thing, a bar girl. Yeah. Actually, so far, Crystal Mountain is the only con I've ever seen, other than the few ones that have just bar crawls, that actually has a drinking panel during the con. It's one of the reasons I love Crystal Mountain, because we're in LDS capital of the world, one of the most stuck-up things where people that have ridiculous drinking laws, and we have a drinking panel. How cool is that? Where was I? Alright, so yeah, any case, I had a Nightmare Moon, and we also had, I also had a Fluttershy, which I will say right now, Fluttershy was my most favorite one of all of the different mixes. It was actually a pink color. I wish I got a picture of it. I don't know why I didn't. But it kind of tasted a little bit like a sweetened grapefruit. Best way to put it. But it went down really smooth. It went down smooth, easy. I had fun with it. You know, I just sipped it up a little bit and enjoyed the drink. And yeah, that was pretty much it. There wasn't anything left to do panel-wise, and I was pretty exhausted because I was still working off of my normal work schedule, which would have me asleep at 7, and it was about 9 o'clock there. So I went up into my room, and I almost completely forgot. We found somebody. We found an old friend of the show who is still alive. Yori! King Yori is still alive!
King Yuri!
Ban him.
King Yori. No. Yeah. No, King Yori was there. I actually talked with him a little bit. He joined up with us a few times on different things. But yeah, he actually went traveling around the world over the last 6 months or so, which is pretty much why he hasn't been seen by anybody for anything. So yeah, so he was you know, back in Utah once again, and was at Crystal Mountain. So Yori is still quite alive. He's still friends and fans with us and all that fun stuff. So yeah, Yori is still around. Go figure, right? Who'd thunk it? Who'da thunk it? Right. Alright, so yeah, we made up with Yori a little bit here and there. We finally got our hotel room, so I was halfway delirious and trying to get my tablet, which was not functioning very well, to send a stupid 3-word Facebook message to Yori to let him know where in the world our room was so he could say hi to us on Saturday. Oh, that was terrible. But yeah, I eventually went to sleep and woke up. We woke up a couple hours early as normal, so we went to try to get some breakfast, which did not go so well this time around. We went to the same place we went for breakfast last year, which was called the Blue Lemon. And yeah, it's about as snooty as you would expect. Admittedly, the only reason we went there is last year we went there, they had their coffee cup size comparisons, and they had pictures of Pokemon Charizard on them. So it was showing like Charmander for the small, Charmeleon for the medium, Charizard for the large. You know, I thought it was cute and funny and cool. So I went with it.
Really?
That's why I went again this year. And it did not go as well. We did get our order placed. We sat at our table and waited for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then when they finally got our orders in, or so we thought, they actually got my order in, and they were about to give Cody /Blanked the wrong order, something he did not order. and he couldn't pallet either, so he couldn't even eat it if he wanted to. So we had to wait several more minutes for them to bring his order, and then finally get some breakfast. So yeah, we're thinking next time we go to Crystal Mountain, we're probably going to go to a JB's restaurant that's nearby. That'll be fun. Ah, shipple. Sorry, I just had a sudden thought out of nowhere, and I'll get back to it in a moment. So after we ate breakfast, we relaxed a little bit more. I went and bought some more swag from the merchandise halls, and then I went to finish off the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipment Folder tourney. And I bombed out. I bombed out badly. And here is the part that really disturbs me the most. Now, the problem is I had more than a few occasions where I could have won. Not first place. That was completely blocked off to me. But I could have won second or third, which would have been nice, especially considering the prizes they were giving out. But I didn't know one very important rule regarding the shipfic folder, where you can actually attach a ship to two ponies that are nearby and do one of their effects still, even if they're already on the field. So I had the perfect opportunity to get so many points to actually beat them out, and because I didn't know the rules and forgot some of them, I lost really badly. And yes, I did have to show IDs. There's no Awesome Brony, I'm going to say right now, we had to show IDs. They had to be scanned. There's no way. I'm not even going to lie about that, or otherwise, they're going to do that. That's what they always do. But yeah, I lost. But since I at least got into the finals, I still got a print. I was able to get a print of one of the arts of the Crystal Mountain Ponycon Secret Shipment Folder expansion card. So I'll be showing that art print in a moment here. So we went to a couple more panels here. We went to a Who's Line panel. Wow, actually some of the tweets here are missing. No, I noticed some of the tweets are missing. I'm going to have to actually backtrack a little bit, apparently. But yeah, I lost attorney. We went to a Who's Line panel that they had going on a little bit later on, where, basically, they did Who's Line with a bunch of people from the Brony community. They had Crikey Davy, Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill. Yeah, I think it's Silver Quill. Somebody's going to shoot me that I'm getting some of these names wrong. I know it, and I feel bad.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, they might be missing because of other reasons, CC. I don't know. My phone was doing some weird things at times, so I don't know. Silver Quill! Yeah, that is Silver Quill, yeah. And also, it's not Yap Lap. Who's the guy that screams all the songs?
Actually, I think that was Yap Lap.
Was it Yap Lap? Yeah, I just have it on tweets, not tweets and replies.
He already mentioned Dr. Wolf.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, he wants me to click through trans replies. Okay, fine. Alright, but yeah, Yap Lap, Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill. They, a lot of the Brony community guests, they actually had up there doing little skits and fun things that were actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, turning ship. Went to Pinky. Oh yeah, there's one. Why was that missing? I don't know. All right. Well, apparently I goofed up on a few things. But yeah, moving back a little bit here. So yeah, went to a Who's Line panel. That was pretty fun. And backtracking, there was also a panel that they had for Pinky Tails. They actually had a few of the people that work on Pinky Tails. And I gotta admit, I feel a little juvenile when they're actually talking about Applejack and the Beanstalk, and you have a little kid that is trying to read from a script about a rarity in as a tuba called Raritoot, and he keeps saying toot. I kept giggling during that, and I feel like such a juvenile because of that.
Actually, that's the reason why they made those, was really to make everyone laugh.
But yeah. But in any case, I did get a little bit more information about Pinky Tails. I'm probably gonna have to show a couple more of their videos, including the fact that they have a Discord Tales, which is actually ridiculously funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff there.
That one was fun.
Oh, and you just faded out there a second. Anyway, I'm quickly scrolling. It's okay, no big deal. No. It's attorney, not enjoying Who's Line panel. Okay, yeah, one other thing that we did do, Blinked wanted to actually do this because he was a big fan of the original SNES game. They had several arcade cabinets down there along with other video games, and they had Turtles in Time. So me, Blinked, and Yori went down there, and we set up, and we just started blasting our way through Turtles in Time, trying to get through the game as quickly as possible. And we destroyed it. It was fun. It was fun. So that's another game that we completed. Granted, it helped that we literally had 40 credits each because, you know, it's free play, essentially. So yeah, there was no way we would ever die. But it was still fun to just go through that game and beat the crap out of everything. Granted, it was a little weird to see how much it changed between the arcade and the SNES version. And let's see, and yep, and before the drinking panel and everything, we decided to go and get a pizza. And this was another thing that was slowly becoming a tradition, and now it is no longer going to happen because of stupid stuff. There's a place called the Pie Hole. Yes, it's a Salt Lake.
Oh my goodness!
It's a Salt Lake pizza place called the Pie Hole. Now, if you actually look at this place, it's literally a hole-in-the-wall pizza joint. It has graffiti. Well, I'm pretty sure it's artistic graffiti all over the walls. You know, the place. It looks pretty not run down, but well used. But it makes some really fun and amazing pizza. Now, we were trying to get a delivery, but apparently they signed up with services with a delivery company that delivers for several different restaurants. And this restaurant, this delivery service apparently tacks on a $4 to $5 charge for delivery and a $4 to $5 gratuity charge right off the bat. It doesn't give you any choice in that. So it almost charges you $10 for a delivery of anything, let alone whatever cost is for the food.
Wow. So
I said, hell no! And I ended up driving down to the pizza place and picking it up. It was still good pizza. I'm glad I did it. We're never going to order from them again. Pretty much said and done right there. You know, that's just incredibly disappointing. I get that Salt Lake is not a great place for parking. There's probably not a lot of great ways to get delivery drivers around and things like that, but still, that's just the way that they charged forced gratuity like that. That's where I draw a line. Forced gratuity is messed up. You either charge them enough of a delivery charge or pay your employees enough that it is not that they don't force a gratuity, or just don't do it. Just no. Anyway, pizza was good. We had some fun and laughs with Yori. I went to the drinking panel, the second drinking panel. Okay, alright, it looks like I'm going to have to jump in on this before somebody starts thinking I'm an asshole. Now, I tip. I will eagerly tip waitresses, I will tip delivery drivers, I'm eager to give money to those that do a good service, especially if they are in a work environment where tipping is basically the only way that they can really make any decent money. Because at the moment, the way the laws when it comes to paying waitresses and waiters is ridiculous and stupid, and it's messed up, and it should not be allowed. But aside from that point, I do tip well for good service. That's, that's what you're supposed to do, and I'm more than happy to do it. Forced gratuity. When they make you pay a tip. Your delivery driver could be an hour late. He could be sneezing on your pizza. He could do a lot of messed up stuff that, in all honesty, you wouldn't want to tip the person. They do, they're doing they did something completely messed up. I mean, I'm assuming, of course, they could easily have delivered on time. The food would be good. There wouldn't be a problem with tipping. But when you force the tip, that's a messed up line right there on my part. That's something I will not condone ever.
No.
But that's my prerogative. Moving on. Drinking panel. Drinking panel, there were two other drink mixes I haven't had a chance to try yet. They had Spike and Pinkie Pie. Spike was an interesting drink, a bit harsh, but it still wasn't too overly done in one way or another. And the Pinkie Pie was pink and had orange juice. I remember the orange juice. I don't know why I remember the orange juice. I guess just because it was so weird to have it in there. Any case, yeah, I tried them both. I actually enjoyed all of the different mixed drinks, and they actually were showing Zootopia in the drinking panel that time around. So, getting mildly buzzed while watching Zootopia just before a rave is an interesting experience. But yeah, I had my drinks, then I went to the rave with King Yuri. Blanked was still working on his inspirational art, and I started to dance. Now, I didn't stay around too long. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not in the best of shape. I'm not really healthy right now. So, I just kind of moved around a little bit. I had some fun. They did a dance circle, and for giggles, I went in there and did the Carlton.
The Carlton.
I did the Carlton in the dance circle. Of course, shortly after that, I went out of there and I got a drink of water. Then I went to a couple of late night panels that were pretty interesting. One of them was about the dark side of the fandom. Now, when they say dark side, some people might assume one thing or another. I'm just going to say it out fast. The dark side of the fandom is about the more interesting stuff that you might find that some people may not approve or like. But it is there, and nobody's forcing you to look at it. Nobody's forcing you to watch it. Ironically, DM12 actually hits the nail on the head perfectly in some cases. The dark side of the horse. But yeah, they did talk a little bit about art. They did talk a little bit about different things that people enjoy. To clop. Don't look some of this up if you can't handle it, because admittedly it's messed up stuff. Clop, gore. They also did talk a little bit about really bad bullying in the fandom, though not as much. But essentially they just kind of expanded on a little bit, educated some people that didn't know, and also just, to the fact that, they shared some silly stories, and the fact is, there are search filters out there. If you don't like it, set your search filter so you don't see it, and try not to be a dick and just actively search for the stuff just so you can whine about it.
Yeah.
So the golden rule.
It's pretty much
Okay,
basically how the co-op side of the fandom goes is everybody has their fetish. Shut up. Nobody cares about your opinion of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
And nobody cares even more if you start whining to the artists and people to try to take it down because you don't like it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You made me think of Jen.
Oh, God.
You made me think of Jen and Kevin Sano.
Yeah, exactly. Just stuff like that. Just we could spend an entire show talking about really stupid things that people have done because of some overly righteous cause.
Well, it's only worked once in this fandom.
Well, that's the main, that's extreme point, but there's actually a few things that were affected by over causes.
So Circuit kind of like the impossibility that Blizzard's doing with the Overwatch porn?
That's Blizzard's prerogative. Though granted, apparently they're only going after people that are actually using the assets that are actually in the game and not, you know, self-created stuff. So that one's a little bit more on the interesting side there. Anyway, move on.
Okay, so they're really just cracking down on the people using their materials.
Using their materials to make porn, essentially. Yeah, that's been the large majority of what they've been taking down.
So pretty much, if you draw it, they don't care.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's derivative work at that point.
Yep.
I mean, they could pull a Sega and officially license them.
But in any case, now.
Official.
In any case, let's get through the rest of this here. So, yeah, that was a panel there, and then the final panel, which is one I was kind of excited for when I found out it was going to happen, the best of MLP YouTube Poops.
What?
Now, some of you don't know, YouTube Poop are basically where they take video of MLP as well as other things. They actually collaborate, they mix sounds and things together, so it sounds like the characters are saying things than what they're supposed to, or it does something silly and stupid.
Good old friendship is magnets.
Friendship is magnets. Friendship is geek.
Friendship is not available in your country anymore.
Yeah, that's one I almost forgot about entirely. I actually found out about one from that panel I never knew existed. Like God burns down Equestria for the insurance. God burns
down Equestria for the insurance money.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, but there's a lot of really silly, stupid ones. And apparently there was another one that they showed that wasn't MLP related, but apparently was really popular. Elsa flashbacks to Vietnam or something.
Oh, that.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of silly stuff there. And then finally I get into our hotel room way late at night. End up finally crashing. And Sunday we get everything packed up together. And we start to go home. What I wanted to do, and this was I wanted to have one last little morning brunch on Sunday morning, so we could just enjoy ourselves a little bit before we go back to our daily lives. And then I found out that the bar that does the daily brunches actually does it at 11. We thought it was 10:30. Now, it wouldn't have been a big deal to wait if it wasn't for the fact we actually got to the area where the bar's at about 10. So we waited half an hour in my car as it was slowly heating up, waiting for the time to pass so we could go and try to get to the brunch again. So, yeah, we weren't willing to wait another time. So we went and grabbed some breakfast burritos, and that'll be into that. At the same time, though, that's when I realized, that's what I was reacting to now. I forgot that JB Restaurants apparently does a breakfast buffet. We could probably hit that up on Sunday mornings as well. Blarg. So, yeah. In any case, that was my Crystal Mountain Ponycon experiences. Now for what some of you are probably been waiting for, the swag. Now, of course, in observance of Cadence Day, this is all photographed on a giant fluffy Cadence blanket I got, ironically, from Crystal Mountain last year.
Was it Cadence Day at the con?
Not Cadence Day, Celestia Day. Celestia Day is today. Just saying in observance of it for today, because I took these pictures today. Now, here are a couple of prints that I didn't pick up that many prints this time around, but I did get a few. Of course, you can see I got the Legend of Derpy right there. That one I could not pass up, especially after E3 and the fact that I love Legend of Zelda.
I love it.
Now, the funny thing about that is I actually bought a mouse mat of that as well that I'm using as my current mouse mat now, so that's pretty sweet. The you can see the print up there at the top, which looks like some ponies drinking there. Now, here's the funny thing. That is actually the art print that they have for the Drinking is Magic Twilight Shipfic folder card that they have custom created for Crystal Mountain. Now, the other funny thing is that the pony in the middle there is actually the OC of one of the one of the current heads of Crystal Mountain, and actually a good friend of mine, Aaron. And he actually pointed this out to me, like, I didn't know that was your OC, man. It's like, yeah, and the person to the right is apparently the artist that drew all of the different prints. And he said, "Don't if you really want to know why in the world she drew me flirting with her like that, you could probably ask her." And I was like, "No, I don't think I want to know. I don't think I want to know, man." Right now, I'm actually dragging the mouse over Rainbow Dash's face, so I feel okay there. Besides, Rainbow Dash has a perfect expression for a mouse being dragged over her face. Moving along. The other two on the left were actually done by Crikey Dave, who is actually a brony in Australia that does animations and art, from the sounds of it. So, yeah, one of them was obviously Twilight. I had to get my obligatory Twilight on. And one of them, Back to the Future. How in the hell could I say no to a Back to the Future print?
That is actually really, really cool.
Yep. So, moving right along here. Now, here's a fun thing that popped up out of nowhere. My pony ties. We'll just say my little ties. Thank you, Brain. My Little Ties actually made a semi-surprise appearance over at Crystal Mountain. Now, I thought I was going to have to wait until Bronycon in order to pick up a few more ties, but lo and behold, they were there. I picked up a Twilight Tie with a tie bar and a Luna Tie with a tie bar. So that was pretty awesome. Now, another thing is I actually already had a Twilight Tie from New York Ponycon when Slick, when he was still with the show, actually went there and he bought me a couple of things. Now, the funny thing is, you can see with the tie here. Sorry, I guess the images actually got a little mix-matched here. But yeah, you can see with the tie that a tie that I originally had has Twilight as normal, and they actually changed the tie to Twilight with wings. So now I got Twilight before and after Alicorning. So something cool there. Okay, apparently took it twice. Now the next other thing I picked up, over at some of the booths, they actually had wood burnings. So I picked up an awesome little an awesome little barrel cup and these coasters, all made from wood burn.
Those are so cute.
Ooh.
Yep, I went for a higher standard of merchandise this year. Haha! No, yeah.
How well those hold up to actually getting water on them?
I have no idea. We have yet to really test them, but they do seem to be pretty solid. I'm just really hoping they don't end up absorbing it and blowing up like freaking balloons. But they were sold as coasters, and they're designed to be coasters. So I'm really, really hoping that they weren't just a cheap sell, especially since I bought them for $20
A piece?
each, altogether.
Oh, okay.
If $20 each, no, I'd be done. I would not do that. No, they'd have to be made out of glass at that point or something crazy. Now, moving along here. Now, here's a close-up of some of the Crystal Mountain swag that I picked up. You can see the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipwreck folder, along with the card that I got for pre-buying the card set, as well as the card I got for registering into the tournament. The one in the tournament is the triple threat there on the bottom right, while the B-Fish is the one I got for pre-buying the packs. You can also see the Crystal Mountain Ponycon coin that I have right there. So, also a Twilight Sparkle little keychain, not keychain, that thing, as well as a pin. If they actually end up getting ruined or starting, I could actually I could probably gloss them if I'm really worried about it. But along with that, the fun thing that I found is My Little Ties also had burned cards of fanfic Arthur Twilight for the Secret Shipwreck folder game. So you can actually get a wooden card of the Shipwreck folder main card. So yeah, I had to get that. Granted, that was actually one of the prizes for the tournament, so that's why it was kind of burned that I didn't end up winning it, because I would have liked to win it instead of buying the card, but still pretty cool. Also got a little sticker there. It's just a sticker, nothing special, but still pretty cool. And there was also somebody selling a normal deck of cards with ponies all over them. Of course, you can see them all right there. Look at these ponies with so many colors. Okay, that's enough of that stupid.
Ponies.
Ponies! But yeah, pretty awesome set there. Have yet to really play with them yet, but I'm hoping to. And this is the piece de resistance. This is actually the first bit of merchandise I picked up. The metal tankard. It's actually a pretty decent size. Don't let the thumb print there fool you.
Looks pretty sharp.
It's not. Yeah, it is awesome.
Oh,
I am very, very happy I got that. It was the only one he had too, so I'm just like, oh, you got these. You got a Twilight. These are the only ones you have? No, you don't. Give me that. Yeah. And apparently I didn't kill Mike Nyes for once, so hooray! Alright, so, and that is it for my travels over at Crystal Mountain Ponycon. Like I said, it is a really fun convention. Definitely a little more on the local side, but because of it, I think it's actually a little bit more fun and free. It's able to do a little bit more in the silly side of things without having to be too worried about how a bunch of people will be affected by it. But, you know, if you're ever in Salt Lake, and they are planning for next year already, so it looks like they're going to go for year 5. So I'm definitely excited and eager for that.
maybe next year I'll be able to go and join in.
Yeah, maybe so. Who knows?